Hey folks, Captain Cephas here with another Nuts and Bolts Pro Tip. You know, probably one of the most significant factors in getting fish to the boat, and it's often overlooked by a lot of anglers, is the proper way to set your drag. Now, most line manufacturers, and quite frankly, most of the folks I know, suggest that you should set the drag setting on your reel to 1/3 of the breaking strength of the line. So let's do some easy math. If you're fishing 15-pound test line, then you should set your drag at 5 pounds. Now, how do you do that? Well, it's actually pretty simple, and this is not the way to do it. Just go, oh, well, that feels a little bit, I'll tighten it a little bit more. That feels like 5 pounds. Well, it might not be. It might be 2 pounds, it might be 10 pounds. And if your drag is set too tight, that's a time that either you're going to overstress your rod or you're going to part your line. Here's the way to do it. Get yourself a hand scale. Now, a lot of folks use these for weighing fish, but it works just as well for setting your drag, and you'll need a buddy to help you out. Okay, so here's the way it goes. I've tied a loop in the end of my main line. Rick has affixed the loop to the end of the scale there, and now I've set the drag relatively loose as a starting point. Now, one thing to remember, you want to always set your drag with some bend in the rod, never straight in line with the scale, because the bend of your rod has a lot to do with the drag and how you're going to fight the fish. So I'm going to pull up, and Rick's going to pull down to see how much drag we've got to begin with. And that is, there, it just started slipping then. What did that show up there, Rick?
2.5.
2.5 pounds. Okay, I've got 15-pound braid on here, so I want the drag to be set at roughly 5 pounds. So I'm going to tighten the drag down a little bit, take a little line, and as soon as I hear it start slipping, Rick's going to note what the setting is there. I'm going to pull up, and Rick's going to pull down.
That's almost 5.
Almost 5. All right, so I'm going to give it one more little half of a crank here. Reel down again, and here we go, one last time.
That's right at 5.
All right, and that's when it started slipping. That's where my drag should be set. 5 pounds of drag, 15-pound test line. And essentially, guys, you really don't even need to mess with your drag anymore. In fact, if anything, I would say, Rick, it's only going to be to loosen the drag, right?
Right, yeah.
As a fish runs with line and starts to pull line off the reel, that actually increases the apparent drag on the reel, right?
Because of the smaller diameter of the spool.
So if anything, guys, it's going to be loosening the drag a little bit whenever you've got a fish really running hard.
Never tighten it.
Yeah, exactly. Never tighten the drag, because that's going to be the time that you're going to lose that money fish. I'm Captain Cephas McCray, and that's your Nuts and Bolts Pro Tip.